Item number 4, appearance of interested citizens, members of the public, and if you leave early, we'll have to consider that as a bid on the. No. Thank you for supplying that. Members of the public may address the City Council on items of interest that are within the city's jurisdiction. Individuals addressing general comments are encouraged to limit their statements to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone who would like to speak on something that is not on the agenda tonight? Seeing none, moving on to item number 5. This is public hearing, and this is with Recology Yuba City. And I'm going to recuse myself from this item as I am currently negotiating with the operating engineers, number 3, with some benefits for those employees, and so that there's no conflict of interest. I'm going to turn this over to the vice mayor, and I'll step out of the room. Oh. Sorry, I didn't see you raise your hand. So is this something that's on the agenda or not on the agenda? But it's item number 7. Is that correct? Are you?
Did you want to speak under the lighting and landscape maintenance district, or did you want to have something separate? So that's item number 7.
On in the agenda.
As the mayor, just Mr. Mayor, for clarification, that is it with regard to Almond Street? I just want to make sure because that's not in the landscape lighting district, so I think his matter might be more relevant to the general comments section. Even if it involves lighting, the lighting and landscape maintenance districts are distinct and separate. They're already established. So I think this, if the mayor provides for it, this might be the best time for you to come up and speak.
Let's go ahead and do that, Mr. Klinkenbeard. If you'd like to step to the dais and state your name and address for the record.
Mayor, City Council. My name is Jeff Klinkenbeard. I'm here. Well, I looked on the agenda. I saw you guys were going to be talking about lighting in certain areas of Yuba City and Marysville, and I thought, well, they've got a whole bunch of places all lit up on their maps, but they don't have the oldest neighborhood in Yuba City and Marysville, which I consider Midtown. Yuba City is not circled, and actually, it's darker there than almost any place, any other neighborhood in Yuba City and Marysville. I know, I drove around and looked. I didn't think I'd be here. My wife and I retired. I just retired and moved here about a year ago. And we bought a house over here on Almond Street, put a lot of money down on it just to find out that we moved into a kind of a bad neighborhood. I retired from Sacramento working for West Coast Properties. My job was to go in and do receiverships and clean up bad neighborhoods. I thought I was done with doing that until we moved here. I always worked with the police department, code enforcement, housing inspectors, etc. And I've done over 2,000 evictions. Matter of fact, I used to own ABC Evictions. The very first and number one duty I always started with, and preventing drugs from coming into the area, and to clean up the area, and to keep it safe for everybody. Well, first of all, we would go in sometimes and clean the whole area up, empty the whole place out completely. But since sellers, buyers, and manufacturers of illegal drugs want to seem invisible, good lighting is the best deterrent. Even if the lights are vandalized, bulb replacement is cheaper and the best insurance against criminal activity. Lights are the best source of preventing crime in an area, because theft, vandalism, house break-ins, drug addicts, drug dealers, whatever you name it, they don't want to be seen. So if you have a well-lit area, and I've been told this for 25 years, first thing you do, Jeff, is light the place up. Now, up in Sacramento, we used to have a real good relationship with SMUD. And so we used to use SMUD to do that. Okay, so I wanted to... our area has poor lighting. It's a perfect place for crime to grow. And believe me, it's going to grow. We actually have knocked off a lot of the crime on Almond Street, thanks to the police department. We've had prostitutions, we've had drug houses. They're gone. They're not there anymore. Almond Street's pretty quiet. We have a problem with Chestnut Street. We've got neighborhood watch, neighborhood patrol. Neighborhood patrol is patrolling, but it's really dark. I lose patrol people who go with me. They don't want to walk because it's so dark. Now I've spoke to the city engineer, Mr. Mooney, even tonight, and he's got a kind of a solution for this problem. He already started working on it by installing brighter light bulbs. But I give her a folder with pictures I took last night. It's so dark you cannot see cars or people down there. So my point is, I want this area, which I'm going to be referring to as Midtown Yuba City, is behind Plymouth Street, and I'm going to pursue this a little bit further. I'm going to get hold of the owners. I'm going to actually try to get an association going, so we have more control over the area, because it's the oldest neighborhood in Yuba City, but yet it's the one neglected all the time, and it's the darkest one, and it has so much crime there. When I was a kid growing up, that used to be the nicest place. I mean, my friends lived there. It was mostly homeowners that lived there. The lawns were beautiful. You wouldn't believe it if you went over there now. Well, Almond Street's pretty good now, but some of the other streets around there. So I want to be involved in your maps about lighting. And, well, now that I've talked to Mr. Moody tonight, I think pretty well we'll cover that. I left you a map to...
Yes, we got that. Thank you for your comments.
It's really dark over there.
All right. And I would encourage you to talk to Mr. Moody and reach out to Public Works and see what we can do. And as we'll be discussing on the lighting and landscapes districts later on this evening, those are districts which are set up where the homeowners in those districts help pay for the lighting and landscape in those areas. So it might be something that you can discuss with Public Works.
Fine, thank you.
All right, with that, I will step out of the room.
While the mayor's headed back to the soundproof room of no influence,